Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I'm pretty excited about how I've been using the GFX50R along with the 50mm 3.5 f3.5 lens for my street photography outings. Definitely enjoyed how I've been able to incorporate this camera into my bag. Actually, it's found a permanent spot in my bag alongside my X Pro 3, or if I'm not shooting the X Pro 3 right now, I have the XH2S, and I'm going through learning that camera and getting comfortable with it, so that I can make sure I'm good with it when I'm using it for some other work. But as far as going out for street photography, you guys know I shoot digital and I shoot film. I enjoy both mediums, especially for street photography. I love the look of film, and I definitely love the look of digital, especially when it comes to what I can get out of my Fujifilm cameras with the simulations. And I want to bring to you guys another video of me using the GFX50R on street photography outing in downtown Ann Arbor. And it dawned on me, you know, what can I let you guys know about how I'm using this and how it's helping me to get some pretty successful images. I have it set in the X-Pan mode. I love that. I thought it would be a great opportunity to use it for street. And I thought, you know what? Let me tell them about the other thing that I do with all my Fuji cameras, so that I can get as much flexibility out of the files that these cameras produce when it comes to post-editing and trying to get the creative style I'm looking for in the images. So what's that tip? Well, that tip is using the JPEG plus RAW setting in the camera. What that does though, and you'll see some pictures coming across, is it gives me the latitude where if I don't quite nail the composition in the or initially when I take the shot, right? Because I want to be able to use the JPEG, which are great. These JPEGs are big. They get a lot of information on them. I can actually do a lot more editing than I thought, a lot more latitude than I thought, because of that medium format size JPEG file. And there's a lot of detail in it. You guys let me know as these pictures go across which ones you believe are the JPEG and which ones you think are the actual RAW files, where I've done some editing to basically get a better frame composition of the image that I was trying to go for. So I shot a lot of these in that X-Pan profile, but then at the same time, because of that RAW file and that latitude that it gives you, I can also decide to change the aspect ratio in post to be able to get a better composition for that picture. And you'll see that as we go through. So one of my favorites, as I'm looking here on my iPad and going through the images, the first set right off the bat when I started of this young lady, the back of her was kind of what I was waiting for, to see how I can maybe get some glow around her head, and took that picture in the X-Pan mode. And when I looked at it, because normally I don't look at my street photos, actually I normally keep the back of the LCD screen blank and just generally have the electronic viewfinder activated in a lot of scenarios, so I don't cheat. I don't want to stop myself in the process of looking at the picture and maybe miss another particular situation that happens because I'm sitting there trying to review what I've done. But in this particular outing, I did do that because I wanted to kind of give a feel of how the X-Pan would, I'd be able to generate my compositions while I was shooting in that X-Pan on the street in downtown Ann Arbor. And in this particular first image, I didn't like it. I didn't like what I did, but because I shot RAW and JPEG, I was able to come back and post. And in Capture One, I set up the aspect ratio, saved it, so now I can use that to automatically put on the image, and then I can recompose that image off the RAW because I have the full sensor size of the image from the RAW. The other benefit to that using Capture One, and I assume you can do it in Lightroom, I just don't use it as much anymore, is you can do the same thing with JPEG. So I actually have gone and tested that as well, where I've gone to a normal size JPEG file from another shoot, to see if I can use that aspect ratio, and I could, and I thought that was pretty cool. But for the sake of what I did out on this particular outing, it gave me the latitude to be able to adjust on the raw photo, or just basically make a better image and composition on the raw photo in the expand aspect ratio, and I loved it. So that's a top feature for me for all of my Fuji cameras, as I said, because of that latitude shooting JPEG and RAW. And if you've been a subscriber to my channel for a bit, or even watched some of my earlier videos this year and toward the end of last year, I've actually said that a couple of times in those videos too, the benefits of shooting RAW and JPEG if you're able to do that with your camera. So guys, I had to do a quick battery change there. So what's the other tip I had for you guys? That number one tip again was doing the JPEG and RAW, because of that latitude it gives you in post. The other tip is the post part. It is nice to be able to work a file the way you want and work presets the way you want. I definitely have a preset for this camera that I use for street. As you guys probably noticed, I like to use classic chrome a lot. And what's nice about it is that with Capture One, and I know it doesn't do this in every editing software, but it definitely does in Capture One, again, getting to know the equipment you use, it allows me to bring that raw photo over as it's shot. So even though the JPEG is burned in with the film simulation, I also have other settings in there, you know, based on that film simulation to get that look I'm shooting with. I actually have a recipe that I used on my Fujifilm cameras, particularly for shooting street photography, and it's on it's actually on the RAW when you bring it into Capture One. So that's awesome. So that second most important tip is really understanding the software that you're using. If you're using Lightroom, what can you do with Lightroom to give you that consistent look you have for the work that you're doing? Presets, of course, are big ones, but what can you also do in camera to help you in that post-processing session that you'll have? So you'll see on a lot of these photos that you know, this was an easy edit for me because of me being able to work out how I want to shoot this camera in camera, as far as the image, as far as the film sim, as far as the tone curve, as far as pretty much everything from the dynamic range and so forth, and get that particular look. And it just makes it an even more enjoyable experience knowing that I can come back, and if I want, I can use that JPEG because it's shot exactly the way I want. So tip number two is know your camera, know your post-processing software, burn it in camera if you can. If you have the ability to use software that'll give you extra advantages to make your post-processing easier, learn what those are so you can make that tool work better for you, just like this tool. And those are the two, to me, most important things to how I'm using this camera and making this a very enjoyable experience. Want to thank everybody that's been liking the photos and viewing the photos and subscribing. Let's keep it going. I got a goal of trying to hit 500 subscribers or more by the end of the year, so you guys let me know how you're loving things and what you'd like to see me do with the GFX50R and the 50mm on here, and doing some street. If you want me to see what it's like for me to do street with another lens based on the gear I have, you know, I also try to be as discreet as possible, and I know with something this big, it's hard to be, but the bigger the lens on it, the harder it is. So about the most I'd probably do on this and still get a good street feel would be the 45, which I do have, and the 63, which I do have. So if you want to see what it's like or see some images with that, especially using the expand feature, let me know. I'll make sure I go out on my next street outing and do that. So the other thing too, let you guys let me know. I just finally worked on a kind of intro montage with the video. Let me know what you think about that as well. Trying to increase my video skills here and my post-production skills. Again, I'm using LumaFusion on the iPad here. It is giving me everything I need. It's a lot of stuff to learn, even just with this platform, but it is definitely taking care of all of my video needs and post-processing, particularly for the YouTube channel, and then some. So I want to give another update to you all and let you know that I'm really enjoying this experience. As far as channel updates, it's going to start, weather's going to start changing here real soon. So I will be doing like I did last winter as I started the channel, moving inside, going in studio. If there's something particular you guys would like to see, let me know. I've gotten a lot more time in with Flash and Studio Flash. So I plan on doing some shoots where, you know, we'll bring some folks in, models in, and do some stylized or editorial type shoots for you guys to check out. And again, any suggestions you guys have on what you'd like to see me do with my Fuji gear as I work on expanding my experience and knowledge, that'd be great. Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate the support, and we'll keep getting some more content out to you guys over the course of the rest of the year. Have a good one, and see you on the next video.